Hey everybody, thanks for listening to the podcast. I love all of the DMs and the calls and the emails, and I realize that we've formed somewhat of a community, and that excites me, and I want to get to know you all a little bit better if you're interested. So I've created something called the Owners Forum. We will meet once a month for 90 minutes and talk about challenges you're having at your properties. We can talk about trends. I'll give you my input, things that are going on down here in South Florida or what I'm seeing around the country. You'll have other people in the group around the country sharing what's going on in their strip center world. And we'll do it for about 6 months and we'll see how it is. I did something like this during COVID. It was very needed, very much needed, and really productive. So if you're interested, we'll put the details in the links below. So join the group if you're interested, and I'll see you on the first call. Hi, this is Beth Azor, and this is my podcast, I Own a Shopping Center, Now What? So something happened to me recently that has not happened in over 30 years of me being in this business. And when I came upon it, I actually laughed out loud thinking, what in the world do these people think I'm gonna do with this issue in this lease? So what it was is in the use clause, and you guys have heard me talk about this, we need to have as narrow as a use clause as possible, right? So if they're a dentist, they're a dentist. They're not an orthodontist, they're not Botox, they're just a dentist, right? And if they're a pediatric dentist, then they're a pediatric dentist. You want to make the use clause as narrow as possible. In this situation, this is a business or a use that is not replicated anywhere in the country. So basically, this is the only use of this kind. So when they asked for any lawful retail use, they did so because they're thinking of future assignments. Because when you have a dentist and you have a future assignment, you can assign to a dentist. When you have this particular use, that there isn't another one like its kind in the country, then they have no one to assign to. So when they explained that to me and reminded me and brought that to my attention, I understood. So how did we come to an agreement for both parties to be happy? So here's the 4 things that I agreed to do. 1, any lawful use except for noxious uses, right? So I put things that I would never, like vape stores. One of my concerns was selling marijuana today isn't lawful in Florida, but it might be lawful in the future, and I certainly would not want that in my shopping center. So noxious use covers uses that are not lawful today, but that may become lawful in the future that is considered a noxious use. The lawyers are working on the language as we speak. Number 2, obviously, no use that is an existing tenant that would default for me or break someone's exclusive, an existing tenant's exclusive. So attach the list. Also, I said, what if I'm negotiating with someone? So what if you want to assign to Ulta and I'm negotiating with Sephora? So I put that no, you can't assign to someone if it's a use that's conflicting with someone that I am negotiating with, as evidenced by an LOI. And then lastly, if I don't like the use that they want to assign to, and it doesn't fit in the prior 3 categories, then I can recapture the space, meaning I would terminate their lease and take the space back. So that is how I have worked and negotiated on this clause. They told me this was in the LOI before we even got to the lease, and they told me it was absolutely a deal breaker. They would not proceed with the lease without this. And this is a tenant that's going to bring millions of dollars to my property. They're paying me a phenomenal rent. I'm not investing any tenant improvement dollars. I really want the lease. Therefore, I agreed to do it with those negotiated subsequent comments to make it more palatable for me. So that's today's lesson on the topic that came up, and I haven't seen it in over 30 years. Very interesting. I thought you guys would like this. If you like the podcast, please subscribe, share, give me a review. And as I've mentioned before, I'm working on an owners group to start in September. And if you would like information about that, reach out to me. We will start posting more information about that soon. I hope you guys have a great summer.